You don't know the words, all right? This is the topping DX7pro. Not this. The SP200. Move aside. You're here to assist SP200. So let's unplug it. Let's shut it off. I love having everything plugged in and it working when I start. Link to Heart audio cables, who has graciously provided me with this crazy system that lets me pick the ends for like every headphone I have. And there's more styles coming. Unplug this. I don't want this. I don't need these right now. Get out of there. Also, these RCAs are Heart audio cables as well. And they're not actually going or anything, but I just want to show you he also makes RCAs. So there, now he has enough business to close. Topping DX7pro 32-bit 768 kilohertz DSD USB DAC with 1/4 inch 4.4 Pentacon 4-pin balanced output, a very lovely screen, which I need to wipe with this. Oh, sorry, hold on, it's fine. There we go, that's clean now. A very clicky volume knob. A not boring case. Like you think, oh, it's a boring case, but rounded edges here, beautiful finish work, nice little things on the bottom. Here's your switch for 110 or 220. Little ribs on the side, also rounded here. It's nice little touches. Unlike you, SMSL SP200, which has slant. Balanced output, XLR. Unbalanced output, RCA. It has an IIS LVDS. It's basically an HDMI port, but it's not for HDMI. It's not so you can put HDMI signal in. It's the connector they chose to use for a very, very complicated methodology of sending digital signals. Do I have the graph here? One of these pages. Yeah, this has the graph. Hold on, I'm going to see if I can open this in a new window. Sorry, lady, I have to... Look, it brings you the better performance and more usage. It's just, I don't know. Go to the link to this, and you can understand how DSD uses only as HDMI device transmit ISS standard, cannot be used radio TV. I don't understand, but here's the pin order in case you want to use that. I don't have any urge to use this for that purpose, at least. Minimize you. Optical, coaxial, USB, full size. Here's a Bluetooth antenna, which you can turn sideways if you want to. Actually, I'd probably turn it sideways this way. An AES bus, which is for like the Genelex. Remember the Genelex? Remember when Zeos was having such a fucking nightmare hooking those $6,000 Genelex up because I didn't have a DAC with an AES bus, so I had to buy a $90 converter? Well, this has an AES bus. So that's the most digital inputs I've ever seen. Actually, I needed an AES bus out. This is an AES bus in. Never mind, this wouldn't have worked. Full-size power, because there's transformers in here. Master kill switch. Beautifully full, beautifully finished. When I talk about topping, there's that two sides of topping. There's a topping that makes like the shitty amps and like the weird ones. And you know which ones I'm talking about. I can't think of any of the model numbers right now. But then you have the other side that makes the MX3 and the DX7pro, which is the little digital one. So now, here we are, sitting with a $500 chunk of amazeballs. So, it's got a few quirks. Mostly to do with treble on high gain is a little bit high. I could feel it. I could feel it. That's it. Only fault of this unit. Let's plug it all back in. So I've got the SP200 here because since this is a balanced outputting amplifier, I want to compare it against something. And what better than the newest kid on the block that's THX and ready to rock and roll. So let's plug the outputs of this so we know we're going to use the same DAC. I don't need to plug the RCAs back in. We're using optical because I'm a dinosaur and I don't like change. And then we're going to put power in this. I'm going to flip that on. It says topping on that beautiful screen. It says optical. I really should have cleaned this a lot. And then we get a lot of information on here. Upper left says optical with an arrow towards P plus L, which means phones plus line out. And then we have 44.1 kilohertz, which is what's coming from the computer, which is Lenny Kravitz. Then up here we says G equals L, which is gain equals low. And here's our volume, which is beautiful and clicky, click, click, click. Occasionally it will skip. It's not perfect. You go fast enough, and sometimes it goes up when it's supposed to go down, and down is supposed to go up. But if you're deliberate with it, like right there, there's a little skip. It's perfect. So, the website that sent this to me was not on Amazon. I will link to them in the description. But I will also link to APOS. Was it APOS? It might have been them. Because they sent me this. And they're... Here, let me show you the APOS website. Real quick. Because it's like they're sponsoring me, but not really. Because they sent me this stuff. So, SMSL SP200, $289. Currently on Amazon for $160. But APOS is cool. Request a price match. You hit that button. You send it in. They see it on Amazon for less. They match it. They ship it to you in like 2 days. The same as Amazon speed. And they actually have they're a little bit more friendly than like Amazon. Amazon can be cold. And they do some weird shit. This place is actually trying to be good for like the audio community. So I'll buy. What other amps do they have here? What else do I want to play with? Some FX audio stuff. Another topping. Ooh. What is that? Oh, it's a dark voice. They have a dark voice. Like they're good. It's a good, well-designed website. What else do we have? Anything else I want to play with? What the fuck is a Matrix M-Stage HPA 3U Plus DAC amp? That looks cool. All right, moving on. Unit. So roughly $500. Well, it was more than that. It actually was like $600 or $650 last week when I checked. But now it's Cyber Monday, and I don't know if that price is permanent or it's going back up. Either way, it's fine. Fine. Because you do get a lot for your money. I don't actually have the power spec. Let me see if the power specs are written down. Are they? All right. The signal to noise ratio, a 0.0001. 126 decibels. Blah, 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 blah. Full insane decoding, etc., etc. Do we actually have a number here? Or are they going to just keep it from me? I don't think they're going to give me power numbers. They're out there. I'll either tell you in the description, or you guys can just figure it out on your own. If you're going to spend $600 on an amp, you're probably going to look. All I know is I can plug my T60 RPs, unmodified, balanced, into this, and it powers them on low gain. That's a feat. That is a feat. One of the reasons you're looking at this is the remote. There are a couple other... The Monoprice THX is a DAC amp, and it does a very good job. Not a lot of power, but that THX, amplification you want, you get, and you get that flavor of it. And But this makes life wholly easier. Now, there's no menu to access with the actual unit. Everything is commanded with this controller, and that's it. So, here. AES, we could hit this, and it'll switch between the different inputs. USB, Bluetooth. Bluetooth, by the way, has LDAC capability. It's the newest Bluetooth. I didn't bother hooking my phone up to it tonight, if you don't mind. IIS, no kilohertz. AES, no kilohertz. Coaxial, not hooked up. USB, not hooked up. Bluetooth, not hooked up. Optical, boom, 40/1. So, having no menu controllable there is sort of a downside. You can't lose this remote. Don't lose this remote. What this gives you access to is power, mute, which if you mute, it says mute. And then it says mute instead of a volume. It's a very good screen, I want to point out. Much nicer than some of the other screens I've seen, because it definitely can fill out full words. If this had animations, it'd be even cooler. But there's that. Up, down, left, right. So left and right is Bluetooth, or go back to optical, please. There it is. I gotta point at it. I'm not pointing at it. So this is the switch between the inputs. Up and down is obviously volume, and it goes up to 0. Nothing's playing, right? Up to 0, and it moves in 1/2 decibel increments, which is nice. It's fast. It's not super slow. I like that. Then you have these 6 buttons down here and this center button. The center button's important because it's not labeled and you don't know what it does. And I'll tell you what it does. Down here you have headphone out, which is PO. PO, phone out. That's what it is. It's what it does, headphone out. Then you have the line out button, which you then put RCA plus XLR. So now the RCA and the XLR out are working. Hit that again, RCA. Only the RCA out are working. Hit it again, XLR. Only the XLR out are working. Hit it again, RCA and XLR. Now that would be very useful, since you can control the volume, it is a preamp. If you had a set of powered monitors, let's say you put this in your living room or on your computer desk, it's fine. You sent the XLRs out to powered monitors. Hiding her ass, can't do that. And then the RCAs out to subwoofers. You could literally choose to have the subs on with the speakers, the subs on by themselves for whatever reason, and the speakers on by themselves for whatever reason. That's a feature. Or if you have something like this desk, if you had a tube amp, so if you could have computer monitors and a tube amp, and you could switch between which one's outputting so that you could just leave them on all the time. And then this one gets signal, and both get signal, and then just one gets signal, and then none gets signal, and just the front. So here's the last thing. I was telling you what that center button did. The center button does PO plus LO. So now it does the headphones out in the front and all the lineouts in the back. All the lineouts in the back. So that's a hell of a lot of things you could choose. You could do XLR, RCA, both, none, just headphones in the front, or everything. You could switch any number of those things, and that's one of the more creative uses I thought of, was to have the RCA do the subwoofers, or have multiple amps, or have like a desktop set of speakers that just have the RCAs turn off when they're not in use. You don't have to lower that thing. Other buttons here. Fur. Fur is actually filter. And PCM fur. There's 7 furs. Just like every other PCM filter I've ever played with, I can't tell a fucking difference. Again, if you've ever heard a difference playing with the output filters of your DAC, tell me who you are, what headphones you're using, what tracks you're using, and what hardware you're using that you could actually hear. Well, I think filter 4 is more for like a Sunday afternoon brunch. But then you get to filter 6, and oh, I'm doing hardcore cocaine with that. No, I don't hear a fucking lick of difference. And I've had other people here that are audiophiles that I trust their ears. They don't hear a difference. I think everyone's just fooling themselves. M. What's the M button do, Zeos? What do you think the M button does? Gain high, gain low. That's right. M stands for mode, gain mode. Obviously. Auto is auto power on and off. If you leave it alone for a long enough time, it'll shut off. This unit does get warm. If you're going to walk away for a long period of time, don't just leave it running on your desk. Like the 789s never get warm. They just don't. This has the power brick built into it. You're going to want to power it off or set auto to on. Usually that means if it's like not running for 20 minutes or so, that's fine. I'll leave it off for now because we're sitting here. And the last one is just the screen brightness. That's the brightest it goes. That's the dimmest it goes. That's the mediumest it goes. The end. So overall, not a complicated unit. I like units that are not complicated. And unlike the M500, which is in the yard sale this month, or it should be, this is still December, right? I don't know. Unlike that, which has that screen that had pictures of things on it, and really small lettering, this is a much better laid out screen. That's why I'm putting that in the yard sale. Now, I've got the SMSL SP200 hooked up here, and we could take any number of these headphones. So let's start with my 80-2000Xs. We're at negative 28.5. I don't take these off the wall enough. I'm linking them in the description. I bought these when I moved into this apartment. This is my gift to myself. These are Alpha Dog pads on here, the original Mr. Speakers. Before Dan Clark Audio was Dan Clark Audio, there was Mr. Speakers for the people in the future generations. And these are no longer this amazing, these pads. I'm pretty sure that he doesn't even make... Did he make the Mad Dog pads anymore? They had to be a big seller. And you put these on here, and it's just... Well, then you also make the wire detachable, because it was a detached wire, because fucking Japan. Okay, enough Lenny. So, I'm on low gain. And these stay on my wall because they're probably one of the more detailed and image-oriented headphones ever. You put the pads on, it actually helps the low end. They weigh nothing. I bent them. But let's get out of single-ended for a second. And I could just switch to one of these other heads to make them run balanced, because that's what the Heart audio cables do. By the way, this cable set with like all the different, like 6 different heads, it's like $60. So, or even less, $80? Well, $80 is more than that. HD660S. They don't come out enough either. The 600s get played because they sound amazing in tubes, and the 5.8X exist. But you know what? These are the originals, and I need to give them more love. I even did my own custom modding where I took a red magic marker and made that red, and that blue. You can't even buy mods like that. So now we're running the balanced end. One second. So here's a weird quirk, right? Mute for a second. Mute. Here's a quirk. I just had it on line out and phone out plus, which is the center button here. And on that, it's unmuted. It's loud. Like this right now is like here. It's like... If I switch to just headphones, it's quieter. The gain didn't change. It's still on gain low. How fast that volume is. I love how fast that volume is. This would be great in the living room for just like, you want to fuck shit up in your living room. I want a good DAC, takes fiber optic signal from my TV. I want to control powered monitors with subwoofers that are switchable on and off. And maybe a headphone. I don't know why it does that. That's just a weird quirk that I found. It's like if I share both, the volume goes up. If I put it only on headphones, the volume goes down. Then I put it on high gain and the volume goes back up. So maybe it can't. Like the line outs, this or RCA are not affected by the state of the mode. It's not affected by high or low gain. They just are out. So I don't know what that's doing. But let's just put it to phones only. Phones only. Low gain still. 34, 30, 27, 20, 20 dB is like... It's a very clean amplifier. It's a very clean DAC. And you know how I could tell it's a very clean DAC? Of course, I could take this out and actually... I could convert it. Where's my conversion? Here, let's no longer make this 4-pole. Let's make it 4-pin. Boom. The Reen connectors. Now, I'm using this as the DAC. So it's sharing both. We can make it just the line outs, just XLR. It will remember the volume settings. That's why it says all zeros. You can lower it. You can control it just like normal, like volume and speakers. If I'm going to output to another amp that has a volume control, I'm going to leave this at maximum and then go. And let me lower this. Oh yeah, I'm glad I lowered that. So now if I do both, here's the thing. Well, I just lowered it again. Wow. Okay, hold on. Okay. So when you do both, when you do front and back outputs, the front gets louder, the back gets lower. Even though the volume number is the same. But if you do dedicated line out in the back, XLR, then it's louder out the back. And then I do shared. It sort of like balances everything out. But when I have that, I can do this. So I got to manually listen to the DAC in this powering its own headphone amp, and then the DAC in this powering through balanced the SMSL SP200. And I am proud to announce it is fucking close. It's just close. I think this is going to have more power to edge it out. Let's see what the hell's going on over there. Let me say goodbye. Bye. Bye. Okay. Pasta's gone to bed. I think this is still going to edge. This is 6 watts. This is not 6 watts. But where it counts on hard to drive headphones, which these are not, let's just leave that connector there and plug this in. Imagine how much I love these cables. T60 RPs. So put these on. Everybody knows you can't power T50s, T20s, T60 RPs, or argons. You just can't. Now, this can, because it's 6 fuck you watts a channel. Not loud enough. I'm going to set it to dedicated output. I'm not even at 12 o'clock on low gain, and this is working fine. And this is not a loud song either. So at the lowish song, 11 o'clock on low gain. Amazing. Let's plug it into this now. I'm just going to plug it in straight. Now I'm going to tell it I want pre-outs. I'll switch it to high gain mode. Same volume that I heard on that at -10. I know it's Weird Al. I want a new duck. I don't know. I know I have every Weird Al song, and I want a new duck came on. So if it pushes these with 10 extra decibels to spare, and I could just that's at -1. That would probably, yeah, that's too loud. That's too fucking loud. So I could push T60s to too fucking loud, and I could do it balanced, and I could do it with its own internal DAC, and I could do it with a remote control. What's this missing then? What are you missing? I don't know what it's missing. This is one of those reviews that you could tell Zeos is sort of like lost. Because there's no glaring problems. Except for, I did have a guy here today. I won't say which guy. Hi, Joe. But we had this feeding signal into one of my tube amps. And then we were like, wow, it seems a little sharp. So we brought out the M500 and put that into it. And it sounded a little bit softer. So then I went through the trouble of hooking everything up with fiber optic splitters, both things, this amp with switching the up and down, because this can do RCA in or XLR, and it doesn't matter. And we were just crazy. This on low gain is perfect. This is a perfect unit. This on high gain, the outputs in the front can get a little bright. Like just a pinch too bright. Like, it's barely noticeable. Like, you have to have the right song and the wrong headphone in order to actually say, wait, is this a little bright? Maybe. So I'm not even going to bring it up. I'm not even going to bring it up in the entire review. I'm just going to ignore it. I'm going to wipe it from the file. It's a perfect fucking DAC amp. It's expensive, but it powers everything I throw at it. The build quality is exceptional. Fucking-ceptional. It has every input on Earth. It's got a pretty well laid out remote control with a ton of extra features. That's it. We at? This is it. This is it. We at. I can't think of anything else. I could have spent another hour setting this desk up to show off what this can do. I got out every headphone style adapter so you could see that it takes a 4.4 and it takes a 1/4 inch and it takes an XLR. I got all these things all hooked up with different interesting headphones, super efficient, super hard to drive. 660s are their own fucking genre. And then I didn't have more than, I only have one input running right now. I can't even hook every input up with this. Zeos does not have, I could hook up USB from a laptop. I could get coaxial digital from like an old game console. I guess I could do AES bus, I don't. I have to put my adapter on something else. I don't have an IIS. That's the ones like IFI use and the crazy high-end shit. I can't even hook it up. And then Bluetooth. And then outputting, I'd have to put a set of speakers up here. And then I could have not just one, but 2 subwoofers in stereo. Like, you could do so much with this. And then on top of that, it's well-built and it performs. And it doesn't have any weird firmware quirks or freakouts. It's great. It's fucking great. ISS, AES, coaxial. I do wish there was a faster way to get through the inputs, maybe, because there are so many of them. But what else do you want out of this? Maybe a window so I can see the inside. That's what this is missing. Forget, don't buy this. It doesn't have a window on top. This is a all-in-one desk solution that costs half as much as an Army ADI-2 and is worth exactly half as much as an Army ADI-2, where that is balls to the walls crazy, but not balanced. This is balls to the wall crazy and balanced and half price. And I'm selling the M500 and keeping this. So you'll see this a lot in upcoming reviews. It's going to be so easy. 15-foot power cord. It's got crazy good Bluetooth. I'm just going to plop it down in the middle of my living room, and I'm going to hook up XLR cables to powered monitors and just sit there with my remote control and go, louder, louder, lower, louder, lower, louder, up, down, left, right. Turn off the RCAs. It's a great unit. I have nothing bad to say about it. Doesn't that suck? It's so fucking pretty, too. And I like the little clicky knob. And when you want to shut it off, it says, see you. And all I could think of is Space Cowboy. So, I mean, if you want to be reminded every time you turn off your DAC amp how great Cowboy Bebop was, Topping got you covered. So, wholehearted recommendation. Now that I know that it was a high gain that was messing with the... Because I had a couple headphones that were getting high gain. I just left high gain on all the time and kept it lower. Keep it on low gain. I love it. I fucking love it. I'm keeping it. It's going in my closet. Link to the website that sent it to me. I got to check. There's 4 or 5 websites that send me things now. I want to make sure I get the right one. I'm not going to say it and then do the wrong. I know APOS sent me this. So I'm going to link to APOS. If you want an SP200, find the lowest price on the internet. Go to them. Tell them, Zio sent me. Here's the lowest price. They'll hook you up. That wallpaper, which is actually not that well drawn. Once I actually saw it, the thumbnail looked great. Actually, probably looks great to you. Click the link in the description to see how not quite great it looks. And then save it anyway and set it on your phone. That's in the description. That's $2 patrons get every... You can go through every video I've ever made and literally go to the description and get every wallpaper. Or $2 patrons literally get left to a giant folder with all of them. $5 patrons get to see every review early. So this will come out probably a week, maybe 10 days before it goes public. If there's only 40 of these with a special Zeos code or something, guess who's buying those? My patrons. When it goes public, SOL. So $5 tier gets you into seeing reviews early. They get you into Ask Me Questions on Patreon. I do answer my Patreon questions way more than I do the ones in the comments of these videos. If I see one and it's real quick, I'll do it. If you write a paragraph down there, I'm probably going to go and then move past it. I love you. I love my fans. And I love answering questions. But my brain, I just can't, man. I just can't. So I will answer paying patrons questions on Patreon. And the yard sales. 1st to the 10th of every month, I put items in the yard sale that I don't need anymore. The M500, I thought I was going to keep that. It's a great DAC amp, but it's not balanced. And it had janky like remote control controls, and I was like, but this is better. So now the M500 is in a yard sale in December. In January, come January 1st, there'll be another 10, 12 items that I'm just selling off. And it's no starting bid, free shipping continental United States, half shipping international. Can't beat that. If you join Patreon to bid, you don't win, you leave, that's it. You spent $5. You gambled on putting a bet in. Come on, don't you want to be a gambler? I don't actually support gambling, like, as a hobby. So, whatever. I bought donuts at a casino once because I didn't want to gamble. Like, oh, you really? Watch this. I put down 10, and I got 12 donuts. The $10 tier, speaking about 10, gets you behind the scenes access by putting you in a private Telegram chat that is currently at 195 people. So they paying my rent. And those people, they get everything. Pictures of my cat, pictures of my food. Oh, that's really the cooking consortium. If you have a question, you literally at Zeos Pantera me in Telegram. I check my phone every hour or two, and it's like 6 things. Click this, either type a response, link the product you want, or hold on my microphone button like I did for Princess Pasta 10 minutes ago, and literally go, hunji boo 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 doo boo, or give you real advice on my phone, no matter where I am, because you're paying me to be your loyal customer service representative. I'll never be as nice as Cheese, though. Just know that. I'm not that nice. But those people have a lot of influence over what thumbnails I use, what reviews come out next, what should I buy. That's the behind the scenes, is the $10 tier. So if you want in on that, there you go. There's other benefits above the $10 tier. I just can't tell you what they are because I'm revamping them all, because I'm making them more sparkly. Maybe more butts. What do I get for $15? Yes, more butts. $15 tier sells out tonight. All right. Thank you for stopping by. I'm done. I'm going to put all this stuff back on its shelves. I'm going to put this in my closet. And then I'm going to start reviewing other things that have been here for years. Years. Fucking plural. Anyway, that's all. Thank you for stopping by.